What's up guys, today we will be going over the new Iron Banner AR, which is the forward path, and we'll be comparing it versus the Gnawing Hunger, which has been in the game for quite a while and has been updated to a season 11 version, so it'll be useful through like the next 3 or 4 seasons. And we'll be breaking down the best perks in PvE and PvP, and overall just going over which one is better for which scenario. So starting off with the forward path, in the left slot for PvE, there's gonna be only pretty much one major perk that is really good, and that's gonna be Feeding Frenzy. And Feeding Frenzy has been changed recently, and it's gonna work more like a perk like Rampage or Swashbuckler, where you have to get stacks of the perk to get a bigger benefit. So now it stacks up to ×5, and at ×3, 4, and 5, that's when you start noticing a huge increase of reload speed. With ×1 and ×2, it's really not that quick at all, but as long as you're above ×3, it's gonna be pretty quick, like the original Feeding Frenzy before this update. And that is pretty much the only reload perk on either of these weapons, and the best perk in the left slot for PvE on the forward path. Then in the right slot, there's gonna be a few interesting perks for PvE, mostly multi-kill clip and Swashbuckler. First, looking at multi-kill clip, this will be the highest buff in PvE, and obviously you'll need to get multi-kills before you reload, and depending on how many you get, it'll be ×1, ×2, and ×3. ×1 will be 16.6%, ×2 33.3%, and ×3 50%. So once again, that's gonna be the highest single damage buff for a primary in PvE. So Feeding Frenzy, multi-kill clip makes a lot of sense on this weapon for PvE. Another perk you could go with is gonna be Swashbuckler, which is gonna work more like Rampage, as we all know, stacking up to ×5. And you can get a melee kill to get the entire buff all at once. So without the buff, it's hitting 325, get a melee kill, get ×5 instantly. It now goes to 434, which is going to be a 33.3% buff, so the equivalent of ×2 of multi-kill clip. So as long as you're getting 2 kills with multi-kill clip each time before you reload, it's going to be as good as Swashbuckler ×5. That's why I think multi-kill clip is the best perk on this AR. Sometimes I do prefer Swashbuckler over multi-kill clip, and that's mostly on weapons that are close range, for example SMGs and sidearms, or weapons that's really hard to get multi-kills before reloading, for example GLs or something like that. But since this is on a ranged weapon and also a weapon that can mow through red bars, then be able to easily get 3 kills every single time before you reload, especially if you pair that with Feeding Frenzy. And that's why I think Feeding Frenzy multi-kill clip is the best PV role on this weapon. Then the second best would be Feeding Frenzy Swashbuckler, depending on your playstyle, and if you are going for a melee build, that could work really well too. Now moving on to the Gnawing Hunger in PvE, looking at the left slot, there's going to be 3 main perks I want to talk about that are going to be interesting in PvE, and as you see, there's no traditional reload perk, but the first one I want to look at is Subsistence, where kills partially reload the magazine from reserves, but reserve capacity is reduced. So first looking at how much ammo you hold with the perk, you hold 453, then if you change off to a normal one without the perk on it, you're going to hold a lot more at 591, so you lose 20% of your ammo with this perk, but every single time you get a kill, you get a huge chunk of ammo back, which means if you're using this thing on red bars that only take a few bullets to kill, you will never have to reload this weapon, and pretty much it kind of feels like almost like a huckleberry in a way. So that obviously is really good, and pretty much makes up for the fact that there's no reload perk on this weapon, and plus the fact that it's an AR that has huge reserves in the first place. Losing roughly 23% of your ammo really isn't that big a deal, especially in PvE. The other 2 perks worth noting is Field Prep, which will give you more ammo, which once again isn't that big of a deal in PvE. Then also quicker reload speed while crouching, which isn't the most convenient thing ever, but it is a reload perk. But if you just use one enhanced auto rifle loader on your gauntlets, which only costs 3 energy, that pretty much is the equivalent of a reload perk. You can even double dip with 2 and get max reload speed if you really wanted to, so reload really isn't a big issue on this weapon in my opinion, and that's why even though Field Prep is a decent perk, I wouldn't recommend it. The other one would be Overflow, which will increase your magazine size every single time you pick up special and heavy ammo, which is a good perk too, but I still think Subsistence is the best. Now on the right slot, there's going to be pretty much every good perk you would ever want in PvE. You have Rampage, Kill Clip, Multi-Kill Clip, Demolitionist, and also Swashbuckler. And I recommend all of those in PvE except Kill Clip. Kill Clip is my least favorite damage perk for PvE. I still hate it. And if you're using multi-kill clip, I would recommend either Field Prep or Overflow or something like that. It really doesn't work well with Subsistence because of the fact that you have to reload, so it doesn't make a lot of sense to have a perk like that. But for pretty much every other perk, Rampage, Swashbuckler, and Demolitionist, the best perk to pair with it is 100% Subsistence. And that's going to work out really well for you. It's a really good role. Subsistence plus Rampage is pretty much like a mini Huckleberry, which is an exotic that is really good too. So yeah, overall some pretty good rolls there. And Gnawing Hunger also works really well if you're playing Voidwalker with the grenade build, because of the fact that 1, it's void and it can come with Demolitionist. Then also you can put anti-barrier rounds on this weapon for this season, which means you can pair this with Nezarec Sin, where void kills will give you increased ability recharge rate. Then you also have Breach Resonator on your chest piece, which will give you grenade and melee energy back on shield piercing round kills. Then you finally have Oppressive Darkness, so that every single grenade you throw is a 30% debuff, With this build, you pretty much get your grenade in 2 kills if you have tier 9 or tier 10 discipline. If not, it's pretty much in 3 kills guaranteed. And yeah, if you don't have the Seraph sidearm, which is the one I use in my build that is void and has demo also, this one works really well too. The only thing you're giving up is Warmind cells, but if you're not a huge fan of Warmind cells for whatever reason, this fits in really well. Or if you just generally like ARs a lot more than sidearms or SMGs, this is definitely a good replacement in that build. Then moving on for PvP, first off, both of them are 600 RPM, and 600 RPM ARs just shred in PvP. I can tell you for a fact on PC, 600 RPM ARs are literally the exact meta, like they are the best option. So no matter which one you prefer or whatever perks you like, both of them are then completely shred in PvP. But highlighting a few god rolls on the forward path, this one's all about stability and stuff like that. You have things like Pulse Monitor, Dynamic Sway Reduction, you could also use Hipfire Grip, or even Feeding Frenzy. Then in the right slot, you have 2 damage perks, Swashbuckler and Multi-Kill Clip, which aren't great. If you're a person that melees a lot, Swashbuckler could work really well for you. And Multi-Kill Clip, reloading after 1 or 2 kills is going to be pretty much the equivalent of Kill Clip, but not quite as efficient. But then you have a lot of stability options once again with Tap the Trigger, Iron Grip, and also Eye of the Storm. So in my opinion, the god rolls on this one are all about stability, which is probably going to be really good if you're a controller player. But then if you use mouse and keyboard, Gnawing Hunger is just next level. The main perk I want to highlight on Gnawing Hunger is obviously Kill Clip. It's going to be the best damage buff for PvP, 1 kill and reload, and you get that damage increase. Then outside of that, there's not anything too crazy. The one I use has Tap the Trigger, which helps with that initial burst of stability when you start shooting. You can also get Zen Moment. You can also get Subsistence. So there are some good perks on Gnawing Hunger, but outside of Kill Clip, it's pretty much wherever you prefer. And overall, like I said, both these weapons absolutely shred in PvP. No matter what perks you have, they're both really good. I don't have a perfect forward path yet. So between the two, I definitely prefer Gnawing Hunger with Kill Clip. I think it's pretty much borderline cheating when you have Kill Clip, and I feel disgusting using it, but it just absolutely destroys anything and anyone that walks in front of me. And as you'll see in some of these clips, I started using Devour, and yeah, it's not fair. It's just not fair. Anyways, the rest of the video will just be some PvP clips I recorded last night in Iron Banner for this video. The last map I played with Gnawing Hunger, there is 2 clips that are just disgusting. The last clip in this video, I pretty much get 5 kills in 1 magazine with Gnawing Hunger. Like, yeah, that's a thing. And yeah, let me know which one of these ARs you prefer in PvE and PvP, and which roles are you trying to go after. Anyways, thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.